All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what is happening at this moment in the Russia-Ukraine war, we're being joined by Mr. Dmitry Babich, who's a deputy foreign editor at the KPRU News. He's joining us from Moscow. Mr. Babich, thank you very much indeed, sir, for speaking to us here in WION. And let me in fact start off by asking you this. You know, the address by Vladimir Putin to the Russian nation, where he came out and said that the war in Ukraine is now pretty much going global. And he also warned the Western nations that if they are supplying weapons to be used inside the Russian territory, then those Western nations could actually be struck as well. Do you think Vladimir Putin has the intention to strike any of these other Western NATO nations who are supplying weapons to Ukraine anytime in the near foreseeable future?
I don't think anyone wants a global war. I think both sides in this conflict between Russia and the West, they both hope that the other side blinks first. So I don't think Putin has the intention to strike any country in the West, and culturally Russia feels a strong affinity to West European nations and also to the United States. We have more than millions of our people living in the United States. So Putin doesn't want a global war. But please put yourself in our position. Western nations are giving weapons to this madman in Kiev who targets these missiles at cities in Russia. Bryansk, Kursk, these are major cities, ancient cities deep in Russian province. So how can Putin react? He tries to scare the West from doing this. To dissuade the West from crossing a very dangerous red line.
Right.
That is his message.
Now, the Ukrainians have used the British-given Storm Shadow missiles and the American-supplied ATACMS. They've struck targets inside of the Russian territory. Now, tell us, this is a situation where the possibility of a miscalculation is very real. What do you think is the American calculation here? Why do you think they are looking for an escalation? What do you think the West hopes to derive out of it?
Unfortunately, the motives of the West are not logical. They're not material. I mean, for many years, our President Putin thought that the motivation of the West was material. So Russian elite, including Putin, tried to be friendly to the West. We tried to make Russia economically attractive, selling gas at cheap prices, building at our own expense gas pipelines and oil pipelines to Western nations. Now I think that the motivation of the West is ideological. They want their terrible ideology, gender ideology, this woke ideology. They wanted to win in the world.
Right.
And they view big countries such as Russia and China as major impediments. So as any totalitarian ideology, this ideology is prone to adventurism. They think that they have the wisdom of the world in their minds. And for that reason, they're sure
right.
We will blink first, and they will have Ukraine winning this war. Even if you consider Russia an aggressor, I don't consider Russia an aggressor, but even if you think so, imagine what would happen if after the United States made an aggression against Iraq or against Libya, some other country would sell missiles to hit US territory. And it would hit it several times with thousands of people dead. What would be the reaction? The world would be, exploding in flames. I think everyone understands. The same story with Russia.
All right, I think you've made your point there. We're completely out of time. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Dmitry Babich, for joining us and getting us that perspective there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.